I was in my college history class when my professor said Damian Lillard had been traded, and I was shocked to say the least. After a long couple months where this was the only consistent NBA news, Damian Lillard has finally gotten a trade. This is bigger than we thought it was going to be initially. Damian Lillard has said his only request is that he gets traded to Miami, which has not happened. It was also reported that the asking price for Damian Lillard was too high, and that's why this deal has taken long. But the Portland Trail Blazers reached not just one, but two trade partners in containing Phoenix Suns and Milwaukee Bucks. To go over the specifics, the Milwaukee Bucks are receiving Damian Lillard while sending Jrue Holiday to the Bucks along with their 2029 first-round pick and swapping 2028 and 2030 rights. They also sent Grayson Allen to the Phoenix Suns, who also received Yusuf Nurkic, Nasir Little, and Keon Johnson from the Trailblazers. Damian Lillard has expressed his interest to play for the Miami Heat all offseason, but it looks like now he'll have to deal with being a Milwaukee Buck, which isn't a bad situation at all. The Bucks keep Giannis, Brook Lopez, and Chris Middleton, all of whom won the championship back in 2021. So why wouldn't they be able to win one this year? Giannis is the same. Lopez was second in Defensive Player of the Year voting last season, and Middleton was their best player in their only playoff series this year, averaging 24 points a game and shooting 40% from three. However, they may still be inferior to the Phoenix Suns, whom they traded with. I'll talk more about the Suns in a minute, but I want to finish up on why this trade was so important for Milwaukee. This summer, Giannis has said that he'll leave in a few years if Milwaukee hasn't shown that they're serious contenders. He's seen the situation Luka has been in the Mavericks and wanted to avoid losing in the playoffs. This was a leverage play, so the Bucks traded for Damian Lillard similarly to how the Mavericks traded for Kyrie Irving last season. They have to appeal to Giannis and have to show him that they will make greater efforts towards winning a championship to keep him, and that's exactly what they did. Now, they did have to give up role players, the biggest one being Jrue Holiday. A superstar of the caliber of Damian Lillard requires a high asking price, so the Milwaukee Bucks had to give up their all-star point guard in Jrue Holiday. Jrue had his best season just last year, averaging 19 points a game while being considered the best perimeter defender league-wide. He's obviously a big reason why the Bucks had the fourth highest defensive rating last year and why they were the league #1 team despite Giannis missing nearly 20 games. His defense will be missed, especially because he loses out on Grayson Allen as well. Jrue Holiday may be a top 10 guard, and that's enough for the Portland Trail Blazers. You know who's not a top 10 guard? Tyler Hero. You would think that a player who has been the starting point guard for a team who has made the finals, averages 20 points a game, and is 10 years younger would have been more valuable. But the Trailblazers wouldn't have been fine with settling for a borderline top 20 guard in him only. The Heat weren't ready to take risks as there's no incentive to. Yes, they lost many players from last year's team, but they believe in their big three and are following the approach that says you don't break up a contending core. The Bucks had more motives, and that's why they were able to trade Jrue. Because of this, I've seen a lot of comparisons between Jrue Holiday and Tyler Hero in trade value, but I also believe DeAndre Ayton isn't talked about enough in this trade. DeAndre Ayton is a former #1 overall pick. He's a good center with the size and talent to be dominant. It's just his mindset hasn't been right. In 2021, when the Suns eliminated the Lakers, Ayton outplayed Anthony Davis. I'm still holding on to that because that was the series where I thought DeAndre Ayton became legit. Since then, he hasn't improved and definitely looked worse against the Nuggets, which understandably lowered his value. Still, everything that led to him being drafted first overall in 2018 holds true today. Monty Williams wasn't the right coach for the Suns and DeAndre Ayton specifically, and on the Portland Trailblazers, he won't be sharing time with Jock Landale. In return, the Suns get Yusuf Nurkic. The Blazers had to give him up, meaning they got rid of their two longest tenured players. This reminds me of a trade that happened just a year ago. I wonder what that trade is. The Utah Jazz when they traded away Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert. The difference is that the Trailblazers were at least able to get decent replacements and got future picks as well. With basketball changing as fast as it is, draft picks are becoming more and more valuable. The Portland Trailblazers have made good moves, and I definitely see this trade as a win for them. Anthony Simons, Scoot Henderson, and Shadon Sharpe will benefit from playing alongside a veteran defender like Jrue Holiday, and Jeremy Grant should play good alongside DeAndre Ayton. All the Blazers need is for Chauncey Billups to not let this team down, and the Blazers could be an elite team in the future. If I'm talking about the now, however, I got to talk about the Suns and the Bucks, as these two teams will be the favorites heading into next season. The Suns improved their depth with Grayson Allen and removed DeAndre Ayton, who was a problem this postseason, getting out-hustled by Jokic. They also get Keon Johnson, who I'm actually excited about. He'll be heading into his third season and expected to take a leap forward. He's really athletic and can be a good defender who can work with KD and Devin Booker. He's a better fit than Cam Johnson ever was, even though he can't shoot threes. That is why they brought in Grayson Allen. He can shoot, and he can be dirty. With as many mid-range specialists as there are on this team, Grayson Allen will likely get the 5th starting role on this team, purely due to the need for a shooter. In the East, The Bucks have created a super team in order to please Giannis, and the offense is about to be brazy. Mike Budenholzer is credited for the disappointing first-round exit of last season, being slow to make adjustments. The new head coach Adrian Griffin needs to make Giannis more involved defensively, and at the very worst, not limit Damian Lillard and Giannis' scoring abilities. These are two of the top 5 scorers in points per game last season, and Griffin needs to not hinder them. When they won the championship in 2021, Mike Budenholzer wasn't necessarily a good coach. There was just so much talent. Adrian Griffin can do the same, and this team should overpower the Miami Heat now, despite Eric Spoelstra being a mastermind. With Damian Lillard now too, their half-court offense is about to get so much better. It sucked last year, and it wasn't going to get any better without a perimeter shot creator like Damian Lillard. This team is so dynamic now, and it will be so much fun to watch. Honestly, wouldn't be surprised to see a 2021 Finals rematch next year, as the Suns and Bucks each have everything it takes to see each other in the championship. That's what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Have a great day. See you next week.